How are you? Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. I hope a lot of you guys watched the summit that I did last week for Vision in Your Child. It was all free. 30 of us were talking, and I really appreciate that some of you actually went and saw the value and bought the course. With that, you get my patching course, which is phenomenal. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about the patching. Most people think that patching is strictly for resolving an abnormality in the eye alignment, which we'll be talking about today. There's a couple of kiddos. So when there's an eye coming in. But when a child or anybody is not moving properly, and this is again what we'll be talking about today, right? The vision equalizes, right? So when a child's not going into crawling, and people don't understand why I want to know, see the vision. I'm not looking to be a doctor saying your child's structure is this. However, I can tell when the balance or the counterbalance of the eyes, this is stuff that they're learning right now in the cognitive vision training, you know what I mean? Like, just like boats in the water. Can I go down below? There's the two red things in there. Yeah, open. It's just, so I have my two things here. Now, so no matter what I do, right, and you can see it, it's clear as day, but that water will equalize out. Now here I have thicker water to show, you know, let's say if someone had diabetes or an infection, but even diabetes of the vision, you can see, and this is where they say Alzheimer's, diabetes, and they go after their brain, and I'm like, guys, it's in the eyes. You know, you can see Alzheimer's like 10 years ahead if you start looking at the vision. So anyway, there's a difference between the responses of here to here. So when I see a child, and especially in head position areas, I know that their system is off. It's just the easiest window for me to see that is through the vision and through the use of vision, what I call functional vision. And people think that vision is basically, you know, do I need glasses to see you? Sorry, these are dirty. Or I don't. They think that that's what vision is, and really it's far from it. Right? And that's where I did my cognitive vision course and took it to that different level to show that movement. So, and then I've got, like I said, tons of courses on vision and everything else. When you're working with your child, most people are looking at the goal. You know, the goal usually is from an external source. Someone might deem that head control is a goal, or sitting up is a goal, or crawling is a goal. Again, what you're here for and hopefully getting the benefit from by doing the videos here is the goal really is the ability to transition from the previous movement into the next movement, right? And so when a child's having trouble going from their back to their belly, right? This isn't not something that, oh, just throw them on their belly and give them a bumpy pillow. Because again, or there's a guy here that's club crawling in the group, and they want to know if that's okay, and someone chimed in and said, oh, perfectly normal. When a child has deviations to movement, even though it might mean they're cognitively just fine and being individual, we've watched too many Huggies commercials. It is not about that all babies are individual. No, we're meant to have certain milestones for a reason. And when someone comes here and wants to give their child a better benefit of a more of a correct movement, let's say, or a movement that should be happening and it's not, they have a right to get that opinion from someone that knows and they're a movement specialist. So just because someone club crawls, right, it's not normal. And it needs to be worked with because those little inconsistencies within the pelvis and the vision will show up throughout their lives. Now, they might be fine and go to school or fine and go to college, but they won't have opportunities to, let's say, play football or whatever if there's heart's desire. You might say, who cares? It's not up to us. You know, that's the one thing with anyone that I'm working on. Like, some people will come to me and they'll go to the next milestone. Will my child ever sit up? Or will my child? I'm going for Everest. You know, everybody should have a right to an exceptional life, and that's how I approach who I'm working with. So that being said, let's get going. So we are gonna start off with Letitia. Now, Letitia, I did not have an opportunity to ask you for vision and sitting. And because you're saying can get in and out of sitting. I have a feeling there's quite a bit of midline issues there. And the getting in and out of sitting, and this is where, okay, you're gonna have to work with me on this. Follow me with the camera. Getting in and out of sitting from crawling. So the video you're sending me is here, right? I bet you $5. What you're seeing is getting out of sitting and in and out is like this, right? And you think, okay, fine, no big deal. What should be happening when you're saying getting in and out of sitting is here, and I'm rolling over into sitting and coming back again, right? That would be, so again, I get the verbiage getting in and out of sitting, but looking at his skills, I really think that you need to look at the spine in the midline. There's especially in the upper spine, can't do that roll. And so when I'm here, see again, see how I rolled into? And so I had to cross my midline. I have a feeling you go straight through and you're up, right? But see, I'm here now I'm up, but because I haven't crossed midline, I'm not gonna crawl. And I'm not gonna go to get up. See how all of the midlines I have to crawl when I'm doing stuff like that. So that's where you're starting to see those kind of, again, inconsistencies that are showing up. You really need to hit that spine, but I would love to, and would be fine to do another review. I'd like to see the video of the vision, because I have a feeling there's problems with that crossing midline within the vision. Yeah. Just, what's her name? I can't read this.
I know, sorry, Camille.
Camille. Okay, Camille. Camille, I would start off with my head and vision course. The head shape is off slightly. So what's happening there, and I know your child really wants to go. So if I'm here, when I'm on my tummy, right, what's meant to happen is my pubic bone goes into play, and now I'm free, right? Now I can't do it as much as I could if I was a baby, but what people don't realize is here the head should counter. We have a muscle back here in the head we should not be able to contract, right? Even if I was like this and coming up, I should not be contracting this muscle. I can't even do it. I would be working through my pelvis, right? So it maintains my hands are free. Why do I want my hands free? So I can pick up stuff and I can do things and and that's what the kids do when they play, right? They can surf. There's an abnormality within the occipital and the mastoids, and she can contract that muscle. And so what you're seeing is this, right? And it almost looks like an inchworm, right? That's how she's trying to move. But because she can do this, she's not doing that twist in that upper area. It's making her head seem way more heavy than it needs to be. It's also making her, again, just what I just did. Do you see how much to get up like that? My spine needs to cross midline. So the first things I'd be doing is I've got, I know she's not a baby, but I would look at, there's a really good course I have in spine and low tone. There's a couple of free videos that I have too of working with the spine. But that's where I would go first, and also possibly the head and the vision course. I wouldn't mind either seeing a better vision video of her. But I can tell you right now, because of what her spine's not able to do, her eyes just can't cross over. They should be independent at this point. At 18 months, and I don't think that they are, and I would be checking with an ophthalmologist to see too if that's part of the causes with the delay. Okay. Michaela, actually, can I have that?
Good.
So, Michaela, you can see our notes that we put on here. There are a couple of things that I'm going to go over and I need to talk about, but my concern is here. Now again, anybody right now would say that these hips look great. And this is where, and you can talk to Jared about it, but her hips are literally coming. Do you see how again, the angle. And now, so there's apexes. So that's one of the things I wanted to look at. As I wanted to take my architecture background, so you know how you're looking, let's say, at a good arch. Roman cathedrals, like there's arches that have withstood the test of time, right? When the hips come in, and there's this line of sight that needs to happen. With Sophie, right, she's up higher, right? So the thing to keep an eye on, and this is where people see, it's not really a scoliosis, but the muscles start to contract on the one side. You'll see almost like a hump, right, versus the other side, versus a traditional scoliosis. People think of this way, they get that twist, because the hips are starting to go in here. It's one of the reasons why I catch so many things, and I know there's up, because when you have structure, you have results. Just like I was saying with Jared, sorry guys, Michaela's husband's a contractor. When, you know, like I have a 1-story house on a concrete slab. I ain't ever gonna get a 3-story house with all the things because it doesn't have the foundation, right? I'm certainly not gonna get a skyscraper. Now, is the area where my house is built capable of that? You would have to go and look at, again, grading. You'd have to look at flooding. You'd have to look at the structure of the land. Are we going into sand, granite, limestone? Can it withhold the structure? Really, there's not much difference with a human body. And that's the course that I was looking to do after, because like you're saying, also my concern is here is the, you can't see it because we've written over it, it's incomplete. Now, I get it that they're gonna say, oh, it should be by 7. Well, should be and actually happening, I would be concerned. Also with the right side, the gap that's in there. One of the things I've been working with, and I'll go over with you, is I actually just had a Zoom on this today, actually taking some of the coursework I've done and taught you on the hips, add the Theraball in there, and just get that ischium twisting a bit more, because the femur head can't do it with the angle. Does that make sense? Let me know. Anna. Okay, Anna, with your little guy, a bit of a heavy head. So what's happening there? Okay. 2 things that are going on. The eye is coming in, so you need to go to an ophthalmologist. I see the left eye coming in. So what's happening, right, is the proportions are starting to go off, and you get, again, a little bit of the bucking. So what you're looking for, again, is the feet, right, which I get, but see, that would come all through the scapulas and the pelvis and the vision, right? And since the vision's not there, I'm telling you guys, you get here and just play, right? Pretend there's a giant beach ball, like you're a giant Russian bear, and you're just playing, right? And now cross your eyes. So I'm going to cross my eyes. Like, the mechanics just don't even work. And I do this for a living. Like, I can kind of figure it out, but now I'm going to relax my eyes, and you just see the difference, right? The circles can complete. So, you'd still need to see an ophthalmologist first. Sorry, I'll come up. But you'll want to actually, I would think, the patching, and then also working with the spine midline crossings first. Once that is done, I really would look at possibly the head and the vision course, because head is just way too heavy. You can see that, so I'm going to do one more. I'll go this way. Sorry. So, you can see the heavy head. See, normally if I'm rolling over, right, I've got something, I'm looking at it, and I roll over. But see, my head maintains, right? What's happening is this. You see how the head just can't get off, and now my pelvis is here, and then eventually I'll fall backwards, which I can't because I'll be off my table, right? But what really should be happening is, ooh, I see something, and see, my head's just there. And that's how I always talk about they should be able to keep their eye on the prize. When your child's trying to roll over, they just can't keep the eye on the prize. There's a lot of falling going on with the heavy head. But as far as course of action, that's where I would go with it. What's next?
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't see through the, what?
Oh, sorry,
Malia. So, with Malia, this is what I was talking about before, if you want to go from the beginning on club crawling. when you're working with club crawl, what is actually going on is the child's having trouble looking up, right? And for whatever reason, when a child can't look up, it will stick the opposing leg out, and that tilts the vision up. So I'll get on all fours to show you that. So that's why we asked for a vision video, and you can see where the eyes are coming in. So, I think it was the left eye, if I remember right. I do better with my right eye coming in, but still. So the eyes are weak and out of alignment. Again, this is where you want to check with your ophthalmologist to make sure the structure's okay. I just had a little girl finally found out that, she needed glasses, and so she's trying to focus and the eye coming in versus that, that's one way. But I think patching is a really good course of action. And there's a patching course on that, but also, so what's happening, and again, you were right to ask. So if I'm here and I'm crawling, I should be able to tilt my pelvis and have a full range of view. But if my eyes are crossed, right, now that'll lock up my pelvis. So what I have to do is I stick my leg up, and that lets me see higher. Because no child's going to crawl into the wall or go into self-harm. So they want to see where they're going. So that's where you're seeing this, right? And then also becoming very dominant on this side. And it's stemming from the vision, and the vision's trickling down into the pelvis and then into the knees. So once you're dealing with the vision, at the same time, I want you to work on that spine crossing midline as well, because he's not getting experience with it because of what's going on with his movements. But it was Rachel Jean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel Jean. The spine is very similar. I was talking about with the heavy head. The spine is really not crossing midline. I know she's not a baby anymore, but I would really do the newborn movement assessment. You can do it on a 65-year-old. It's not based on newborn babies. But when you're seeing that lying down, the vision's actually good. But something has happened that, and I don't mean something has happened, but there's something going on with the spine not crossing midline, right? And so what's happening is what you're seeing her lying down is here. So just like I just mentioned, I actually should have my vision. I see something, right, and it just lifts my head up, right? The head, children don't have weak necks. It's not how the head goes. My pelvis counters everything that I do. Right? And when I don't see that in a baby, my sirens go off. And so too, she's here grabbing stuff. Right? Versus, again, it should look like she's turning a knob, because again, that rotation should be there. And then when she just gets tired, she's flopping back. So I would do, I have a bunch of free, after the free newborn movement assessment, I have a bunch of free baby videos, and I would start with that, but my concentration would really be after that spine and getting it moving. And shout out to Savitri, Rana. Hi, Savitri. Rana is, Rana's a neat kid. He really is. Rana, I keep saying, is going to be a lawyer. I mean, he could either sell ice to Eskimos. He can talk himself out of a traffic incident in 3 seconds fast. I've been seeing Rana since he was 3. Savitri will correct me if I'm wrong. Rana left the hospital at 875 grams. It was so funny. We're in the car once, right? Now, I was a big baby. I was 10 pounds, 6 ounces. So I was like, so what is that, like 5G, a little shy of 5G? And someone else said what they were, and Rana jumps out. I was no G. I was no KG, but he went home at 875, home. Premature, 27-weeker, home at 875, which I don't think they'd let a baby out under, 2 pounds, pound and a half minimum. But they said he was just small. He was healthy, but he was just small. So when I met him, he was in AFOs, bent legs, and all of that. And Savitri, I still remember her. I was working, and she had a squat next to me. Like, if she could actually come into my hands, I think she would have. she was just like, and that's how I remember meeting her. Rana was really cute too. One day, he was like 3 or 4, and again, the little lawyer. And he's like, now that I know Michelle Turner, I will walk, go shopping, and get married. So, here he is thinking of his priorities and another cute shout out to Rana. It's so funny, like Savitri will say, because I've been to India now, 8 times? And we're in Chennai, but she's been to Chennai, Delhi with me, and Mumbai. And she's like, we're tired tonight, so we're not going to go out tonight. Can I get you something swiggy at? And I was like, call me when Rana wants to go out. And sure enough, she'll call me about an hour later. We're going for ice cream. Rana wants ice cream. So anyway, someone asked, why would you be doing this wagging the tailbone? Now Rana's now independently walking and all of that. He has an SPML, but his feet were down before he went to SPML. And that simple movement that Savitri was showing off or just shouting out about, and that's why I'm giving her a shout out. Every movement that your child needs to do, they better be able to do that movement. So as a child is even growing, and you can see he does it very well. Even as a child's growing and changing, you still want to offer opportunities of a same and very simple but very effective and prolific milestone that needs to happen. And so, most children with cerebral palsy really do not have a tailbone that they can wag. They're actually taught in med school that eventually the coccyx will disappear. Well, I'm telling you right now, if the coccyx disappear, we won't be walking anymore. The cubrators will have won. It is a very essential bone in the human body. And again, we'll most likely, that's why again I have to do my pelvis course, because I can't believe they teach this stuff in med school. No offense to any professionals out there. But I just want to give a shout out to Rana because he's my buddy. And as many of the kids are, sorry, but yeah, like I said, Rana's now at 8, 9, gosh. Well, there's a problem with me. When I see kids, I still have them at 3. Like they don't age in my mind. So sometimes I just had a little guy. I hopefully you saw him. I gotta post some of a lot of my posts go to Instagram. Like Claudia will jump in and get like my thoughts of the day. So those are on Instagram. I really need to post them in here too, because not everybody's on 15 different social media. But I saw Arthur yesterday. I hadn't seen him in such a long time, and again, it's really sweet when we get to recap. That's the one thing with COVID that's really making things get appreciated more when you get to see somebody. Because I probably won't see Savitri now for easily another year. I mean, India is so locked up, it's just not funny. Which again, it needs to happen, but at the same time, it's frustrating to all, especially for therapy. So I am again about to load up some bigger and more efficient courses. I shouldn't say more efficient, but more variety for what you need. And because again, with what's going on, I think more and more you're realizing that, I hate to say it, but we're on our own. And Movement Lesson is here. So that being said, I have a great webinar too, 5 Successes for Your Home Program. I know a lot of you got the PDF. We've so upgraded it. I went from a 1-pager to it's now 13-page download, and I've done about, I think, 7 videos to go through it, where I'm going through each step to make your home program successful. If you need to drop your email here, but if not, I'll be putting the link on that you can go over there and start your webinar on that. It's all free, and I do what I can to teach you guys. And but some courses you have to do the course. It's not I show you 1 or 2 videos and make everything okay. It all depends where we're at. Have a great day. Thank you.